Perspective by J.R. Andrew. Recently I did some pointing and ceiling work on the chimney top. It's important that it's maintained correctly. Down below is a beautiful black stove. In a way, the heat and heart of the house. I decided to do the work. I needed to see the chimney crown myself, with my own eyes, to be certain there were no cracks or water ingress. I live in a very wet country. There's something I've noticed about myself. I like to know. I like certainty. Maybe I couldn't trust the adults around me when I was growing up. Maybe I remember the lies and deception. I trust my judgment, and these days I listen to my intuition. It's a learning process to trust yourself. Getting from the ground to the apex of the roof was a difficult and interesting task. 90% of the work was preparation, the position of the ladder, where to stand, and how to stand on a tile without cracking it. There's a particularly difficult point where you cross from the vertical ladder over the threshold to the ladder on the roof, a midway point where you are vulnerable, where the nerves bite for a moment. It's an unusual experience to head up that ladder, away from the ground, towards the sky, looking at your hands, conscious of your feet, weight distributed on the 70-year-old battens, and as you reach the top, you have forgotten how high up you are until you look over that ridge and you feel the nerves bite again. It's an exciting feeling, one of absolute focus. I stood fully upright, leaning on that chimney, inspecting it for cracks, putting a bead of cement around the terracotta pots, keeping the rain out. Someone was here many years before me. Their work was at its end, and I continued that job with my bare hands, making things last. But there were moments where I felt very present, so alive. I liked the height. I looked over the rooftops, seeing sunbeams dazzle off windows. Reflections of light like mini rainbows highlighted the distance, and the gardens were miniature. I could see right across the city. What is vast below is small from above. Even the people looked surreal, like they were in some kind of synchronized dance. Then the occasional child pointed up, ignored by its perpetually busy mother. It truly is beautiful to see, eyes wide open, taking it all in. I was getting a different perspective. I felt something I've not felt in the longest time, unattached to the burdens below, with 3 points of contact, upright, tall. I felt safe. No one could bother me, intrude into my world or my personal space. No one could touch me. I grew a little taller, chin over that chimney stack. In the silence of a gentle breeze, I realized something about myself. I'm fine. I'm just fine, and that's good enough. In my garden below, the sunflowers defy the looming winter with their popping yellow colour. They've taken a battering with the high winds, but still stand upright, over 8 foot tall, I'd say. I always thought they had their heads down, like maybe there's a little sadness behind their beauty. Maybe the sunflowers are just fine. They are not looking down, they are looking over. As I descend, I take something with me, like a human antenna. I received a message. Still and silent, I stand with the sunflowers.